Hey everyone, welcome back to CyberSecurityTV. This week we're gonna continue learning about the Python. A few weeks ago we talked about the first episode of the Python and where we learned about why the Python is required in the cybersecurity, what's the reason why you should learn the Python, and then this week we're gonna start with the basics of Python, like learning about the variables and strings, so you can, when we get into the writing to the code or like let's say some exploit, you know how the actual syntax works with the Python. This week my focus is to mostly talk about the variable objects and types. We won't be able to cover all the variables. It would take more than 20-30 minutes to talk about everything, but I want to give you a quick introduction on what the variables object types works. We'll do a demo of how the string operations works, how to define initialize various strings and stuff like that. So one thing which is not very usual in Python is, compared to other programming language of course, is the variables does not have a type. So for example in C, if you declare the variable, let's say first name or name, and then you assign and you have to declare what type of variable it is, like whether it's a string, integer, right? Here it's different. Here you assign object to the variable and types are attached to the object, not to the variable. So that's the main difference. Now if you want to I'm gonna quickly show you what I meant by that. Let me quickly share this. Okay, so let's get into the Python. All right, so first off, how do you declare a string or variable in Python? It's simple this. So let's say if I write CyberSecurityTV, right, and if I print this one, it's name. So this is, now you can say like name has a string attached to it, but that's not true, because if I just assign an integer value, if I print that, now the name has a integer value. So there is not essentially a name which has the attached type to integer or string. It's the object, which is, in our last case 10 is the object, in our previous case this cybersecurity TV is an object, so that is attached to the string. So for example, if we want to, let's say, see where this name exactly located, right? So if you want to see the memory location of the name, oops, not like this, sorry, this bracket. So this is the actual memory location of where the name is located. You can even get the hex of the memory. So you just do this, right? So this is how you can actually get the hexadecimal as well as the memory of. But what I wanted to talk to you about is, like, just remember this: the variable itself, or the it's not attached to the type, but the object is. And later on I'll also show you how this is, like, possible. I'll show you with the demo. So that's the, it's not this one. Okay, let's go back to our presentation. The next thing I want to quickly cover is, then we can go quickly, talk a lot about the demo. I want to talk about the string initialization. So how different ways you can initialize the string. You can assign the value and then you can do various string operations. In the C++, you must have seen, like, you do str copy and cut and paste and all those things. In Python it is very much easy, and that's why in the cybersecurity, like when we write the exploits or POC, we use Python rather than C++, because this is very quick and easy. So let's talk about, let me show you the demo so it makes more sense. So all right, so first, this is the first way how you can give a value to the variable, right? So I have given name is equal to cybersecurity, and if I print here, this is how it's gonna come up. The other way you can also do is with the single quote. So first we started with the double quotes. You can also define like this, and you can see it's a cybersecurity, right? Um, oops. Next thing, let's say we want to write a new line character, right? So if you print like this, and now let's print this name, you would see that now /n was interpreted as a new line, right? And of course this value was assigned to name variable. But what if you want to keep this character as is, like an escaping characters? So uh, this is a really good way to do it. So what you would do is you would supply character R. That means it's a raw request, so it wouldn't consider slash or \n as a special character. So now if we look at this and if we print name, so now you can see this wasn't considered as a new line character, right? Now one of my favorite way to do it is using the three triple quotes. So this is how you would normally write something. So for example, let's say if you want to write cyber security TV is a good channel to learn about the information security dot. Now if I want to print this, of course, now you would see this slash n were added automatically because I hit the enter here. And now if you print this, it will come out exactly how I have wrote it. So this is the good way to kind of write the string the way you would write in the normal scenario. It would have been much more difficult if you had to do this in the C++ or Java. This is very much easier to do it in Python. Okay, now we learned about that. Now next thing I want to talk to you about is the strings are immutable. What does that mean is you cannot change the object or the type of the strings. So for example, let's say if we assign name a value cyber, and if I print that, right, let's print what's the 0th character of the name, which is C, of course, because that's the first location of the cyber. Now what I want to do is I want to change this 0th character from C to A, and we straight away got the error, which is object does not support item assignment. So you cannot change the memory location where the object A is written, or sorry, object C is written, to any other object. What you can rather do is you can do name is equal to anything like random, for example, and now the name will be assigned to the new value, which is random, but you cannot change the specific object where the string is written. Does that make sense? Okay, all right, let's go back. So I think I want to talk about is, I told you that you cannot change the type of the variable, but you can change of the object, and the variable will still point to the same. So let me show you the demo. So for example, let's say name is assigned as a cyber. Okay, and now we declare variable a is equal to name. So if you print a, of course it has to be a cyber, right? Now what if I change value of the name variable to, let's say, security, right? So name will be security, but if I print a, it is still pointing to cyber because a is still pointing to the object of the memory location where cyber is written, and the name will be given to the cybers, like name will be changed to the cyber. So this is how typically, what I meant is you cannot change the object, sorry, variable type, but you can change the object type. And the cool thing about the Python is they have a really good garbage collection. We have seen in security many vulnerabilities due to not having the good garbage collection. So as soon as there is no object or variable pointing to the object, the Python garbage collector will free up the space. While in the C++, you have to manually run it. So that's a huge difference between C++ or the programming language versus this one, right? Okay, now let's talk about the string concatenation, which was very like a lengthy process in C++, right? So for example, let's say you have first name is equal to Bob. Okay, I need to double quote. Last name is equal to Ralph. Okay, and if I want to, let's say, do full name is equal to F name plus L name. And now if you print the full name, it will be Bob Ralph. Of course, you would want the space in between, which is very easy to do here. So now you have the space. So this is how easy it is to do the spacing in the sorry, concatenation in the Python. Now let's say you want to have the repeated sequence, right? So for example, we want to do name is equal to, let's say, character C, and we want to repeat it for 100 times. Now if you print the name, the C is written for 100 times. Now the another example I would show you is name is equal to, let's say, cyber, and you want to do like a splitting and those sort of operations. So how would you do is you would say, okay, 1 and 3, so that means Y and B. So of course 0th is C character and Y and B. You can also do like stepping, so every 2 characters it will print and Y, and then there was the string is too short, that's why. But yeah, that's another way to do it. Another good one is about the conversion. So yeah, how do you convert the integer to string? So there is a simple function where you type any string, let's say this, so integer name, oh sorry, I need to give integer to convert it to the string. Okay, so 542, it will convert it as an integer, as you can see here. So this is how typically you would do all the string operations here. And okay, I think that's about it. Let me just quickly go back to here. Yeah, this is all about the strings I want to discuss. Probably next time we'll deep dive into some other functions that the string offers or the Python offers, and we can use it during writing the exploits. So I want to make sure you have these basics clear before we move on to some advanced topics. So make sure you practice this whenever you get a chance, and hopefully I'll see you all next week. Thank you so much, and please hit the thumbs up button if you like this video. Bye bye.